Okay, Donna, so you're now streaming live. I've made Lester co-host and you host.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi, Christine. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Zenaida. Hello. Hi, Judith and Rana. And Peter. What type of phones do we have tonight? Or this afternoon? I guess it is tonight. This afternoon, tonight.
I have my, I don't know why you can't see me.
Oh, you can turn on your video. Go to your left
Oh, I
hand
thought
side.
I had already done that. That obviously not.
What kind of phones do people have?
Samsung Android.
Samsung.
Mhm.
Have a Motorola.
Oh, good. I have one too.
Samsung.
Just got it.
Yeah, lucky. Rona?
Yeah, she has a Samsung Galaxy Note 9.
Okay. How about you, Zenaida? Oh, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Sorry.
No problem. You have a Samsung?
T-Mobile.
Okay. Yep. Got some more people coming in here. Jane, what type of phone do you have tonight?
I have a Samsung.
Okay. And Marva?
Hello Moto.
Hello, Moto. That's funny. All right. Well, why don't we get going today so we can get through our material. I want to welcome everyone to get set up. We're seniors teaching seniors about technology. We have social hours and all kinds of programming to enjoy. Tonight's class, I should say, is a class on Android smartphone with some advanced tips and tricks we're going to cover. We do have a couple other classes. We have a beginner's class and another class that we just started this week on security and safety on your phone. So you can look for that in the catalog. My name is Donna. I'm your guide tonight. I was in the IT industry for over 30 years. I enjoy helping people get over their fears of technology. This session is being recorded. If you wish to get a copy of the recording, you can do so by emailing help@getsetup.io. We do not get paid to promote any of these Android phones. This is strictly for our own training. And we do have Lester here tonight manning the chat room. If you have any questions, he can help you out with those in chat. So our agenda tonight, we're going to talk about checking out data and battery usage on our phones, backing up our photos or seeing if they are being backed up, and then how to save and find files. We're going to do a little exercise in that. So I already asked who had what type of phone. We have, as always, a mixture. It's not like the iPhone world where the phones are pretty close to, pretty similar to each other. We have very different phones in this class. If you discover someone has a similar phone to yours and they're struggling to do something, feel free to help them out. I have a Motorola G6. So for Samsung people, if you see someone struggling, go ahead and help them out. So the first tip I want to talk about, when we go to our phones, we have the Play Store. The Play Store is the icon with the, it's kind of a blue pyramid. It says Play Store. When you go in there, you can search for, there's millions of apps in here, all types of apps that you can check out. The one thing about it, though, if you're researching an app, the print is a little small on the phones. It's hard to read sometimes. It's really great when you're looking for apps, you can search. There's a search bar to search. You've got categories on the bottom like games, apps, movies and TVs, and books that you can look for. And when you're looking at an app, you want to look for apps that have a good number of downloads, like 100K, that's good. 4.9, that's 4.9 out of 5. When you're looking at the pictures here, they slide to the left on your phone. You can click on any of these pictures and they become large. So you can see what the app is going to look like on your phone. There's a little arrow in the upper left-hand corner here to go back. You could click back on your phone here to go to the main screen. Then you can read the reviews, what people have to say about the app. It's good to see more 5s than anything else. And then if it's an app you like, you can hit install. But, sometimes you do want to do some research and it gets a little hard to read. You can access the Play Store on the web too. So you can go here. And you'll get this link at the end of the class. You can come here and you can go and look for whatever apps you want. They have all the different categories here that you can select to find these apps. You can also, on the left side, there's a menu here. You can check up on your Google account. You can maybe change payment methods if you want to look and see what credit card you're actually paying for things with and that type of thing. You can look at your subscriptions you have with Google. Redeem gift cards or buy more gift cards. All that stuff you can do right here. And again, like let's say if I'm going to look at an app, you could go and take a look at these apps. You have a bigger screen now. You can go and read all the reviews on the screen. And the cool thing is if I hit install, it's going to bring up whatever phones you have attached to your Google account. So I only have one phone, but they have arrow keys here. If you have more than one phone, you would see all the phones. If I click on my phone and hit continue, it's going to install. It'll actually install from the web page. It will go and install it on my phone. So it's just a little tip for you if you want, if you find that you're doing a lot of research and you'd like to have a bigger screen to read on. Any questions on that one? All right.
Actually, yes.
Yeah. Christine?
Most of our phones, and if you have a Motorola, it comes with the Galaxy Store.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're talking about the Samsung. The Samsung has the Galaxy Store.
I've had a Samsung.
Yeah.
But there's also a Play Store that's not the Play Store for Google, but that comes with the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is better, or it does not matter?
Yeah, some of the manufacturers do have their own little area because they have special apps that they come up with. The major brand names, Samsung, Motorola, Google, all the big names, they're going to be doing all the same things. The thing with the Google Play Store, it is the place where all the apps are, all the major apps.
Okay.
And they try to, do a lot of scanning and checking them out for being, any malware, that type of thing. But Motorola is going to do the same thing. Samsung, if they have a store, they're going to do the same thing too.
Okay.
You won't have as big of a selection than like on the Google Play.
Right.
But
Okay,
it's probably just a way for them to get some of their special software onto your phone.
Okay.
Which, by the way, if whatever manufacturer you have, if they have software on your phone, you probably can't get rid of it. You can't uninstall it.
Oh,
So if you've ever tried that, have you tried that before, Judy?
I was gonna, it just seemed like it came with so much already installed.
Yeah, I know the Samsung phones put a boatload of stuff on there.
They just,
Motorola's not too bad. They don't put that much on. But yeah, you can't take it off if it's with the manufacturer, unfortunately.
oh, darn.
I mean, you can try, but I would say most likely they're not going to let you do it. I had one phone years ago. It had all this Amazon stuff. I don't know if anyone remember that release. That was probably about 10 years ago. And they had just about every Amazon app you could think of was on the phone. And I was getting tight on storage and I was getting desperate and I was trying to take those off, but no, you couldn't do it. But they were a lot of apps on that phone. All right, let's talk about checking and controlling data usage. Now, if you have an unlimited data plan, you probably don't have to worry too much about this. But a lot of people have limitations on their data plan. So it's nice to know where that area is so you can take a look at it on your phone. For Samsung people, under settings, data usage, also under connections, sometimes you will find your data usage there instead of settings. So when we talk about going to settings, you're going to go to the settings icon on your phone. It looks like a little gear. I've got green around mine. You might have blue or silver or gray. You can just click on that, and that brings you into the settings for your phone. The settings, it's a pretty big section. Has anyone never been in their settings before?
I play with it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot here. I mean, our phones are little tiny computers. They really are. Now, at the top of your screen, you should hopefully see a little search bar, or maybe a search icon that you click on and get a search bar. This is very handy, not only for in this class, but if anyone ever tells you about some special feature they have on their phone and you're wondering if you can do it, you can always search right here, and the phone will tell you if it's in settings. So you can find things that way. Because there's a lot of settings. When I scroll down, I can see a lot of settings here.
You have
on the
something
phone.
interesting right off the top of your head that we could look up.
Something interesting?
We probably don't have.
Well, yeah, your phones are not going to match mine, probably. I mean, I don't think any of our phones are going to match each other. So you will have to look on your phone. So look for your, if you might have to go under, I have to go under network and internet. Your Samsung, you'll go under settings and data usage, or you'll go under connections to find it. And there's two settings to talk about here. The first one, well, first of all, I'll get under, I have to click on data usage. You might notice, you might have a little bar graph or something that might show your how much data you've used on your plan. You should see something like that maybe, if it depends on your phone. And then you'll see something that's either a data warning or limit. You may see a data warning and limit. And let's talk about these two, because one is a warning and the other one really will limit your phone if you have both on your phone. Take a look at your phone and see, you may just have one setting for it too. If you have a warning, it's going to look something like this, where you're going to set, I have mine set at 2 gigs. And all that means is if I start binge watching something, and if I hit that 2 gig, it's just going to give me a warning. It's just going to pop up and say, hey, you just hit your limit. That's all. I'll have to, slow it down.
What about data saver?
Oh, we'll talk about that next. The other one is setting a limit. Now, if when I click on this, I have this little information that my phone tells me, and it tells me that if I set a limit like this, that when I hit that limit, it's going to shut the mobile data off. So that's a pretty drastic move, but if you are getting overcharged, if you get extra charges on your phone because you're going over your data, that might be something to set. For myself, a warning is enough. If I hit it, I'll just stop doing what I was doing. But it's up to you, but just be aware that you might have these type of settings on your phone that you could set if you want to. And you don't have to set anything tonight. That you can just be looking. Part of the class really is getting familiar with your phone and looking to see what you have on your phone. Data saver is another one to talk about. If you open it up, your phones, I know on the Samsungs they do this. The Samsungs will give you a recommendation of how they want you to set this. If your phone is doing a recommendation, I would say go with what your manufacturer is saying to do for data saver. Just go with what they're saying. And really what this is, when you're at home, you're probably on your Wi-Fi with your phone, right? And you should be, if you can. If it works okay for you, I had miserable Wi-Fi about 2 years ago, and I couldn't use Wi-Fi with my phone because it slowed the phone down too much. But if you have decent Wi-Fi and your phone's okay, it's good to have that. And just as an example, if I go into my data saver here, you see I'm halfway through my plan. I have 12 days left before I get billed, and I've only used 441 megabytes, right? That's nothing. But if you look at my Wi-Fi usage, I've used almost 13 gigs in 2 weeks. So that's why you need to have your Wi-Fi, your phone attached to Wi-Fi. It really makes a difference. I would be paying because I think my plan limit's about 3 gigs, so I would be in big trouble if I wasn't using my Wi-Fi. I'd go over a lot. So what Data Saver does, when you leave your house and you're not on Wi-Fi anymore and you're on your data plan, it's going to restrict apps that maybe you don't use at all when you leave your house. There's some apps you never open. Those apps are not going to be able to update themselves. They're not going to be able to do notifications, all this stuff until you get back in your house, until you get back on Wi-Fi. So that's what the Data Saver does. So yeah, it's up to you if you want to use that setting or not. I would say, like I said, if your phone is giving you a recommendation, go with what your phone is saying. But that's what that means, that Data Saver. And it can, if you have a limited plan, it's going to help save some of that data when you're out, you're out walking and listening to Spotify, or you're in your car, you got Google Maps open, all that stuff's going to use your data. Any questions about that? And you might see some other settings too. Take a look at your phone and look and see what you have in that area. You might have some other interesting things there. In this area too, this is probably an area where you'll see things like where you can turn maybe your mobile data on and off. Like when I'm under my data usage, this is where I can turn mobile data on and off, that type of stuff. When you're traveling and you don't want to start roaming on your data plan, that thing, that's when you shut off your mobile data. Any questions anyone has here?
What is the purpose of airplane mode? It's
Oh.
kind of self-explanatory a little bit, but if you're not traveling on an airplane, do you ever need that?
I know of people that they're really cautious about their data plan, and they actually use airplane mode so that they don't use any data.
So that's what that does?
Well, I'll show you what it does. I'll give you a quick demo. I'm going to go into my quick settings on my phone. And here's airplane mode, right? So airplane mode shuts off external communications that you have on your phone. Things like your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and mobile data, right? Those are where you're talking outside of your phone, out to the world. If I turn on airplane mode, mobile data, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi are going to shut off. So I'm going to turn it on and see they all three shut off. And then if I shut off airplane mode, they all come back on.
What is the purpose of that other than if you're flying?
Well,
Too simple.
that was why they started it. The airplane mode was for flying, because they felt that it might, some signals from some of the phones could interfere with the signals on the plane. That was the original purpose of it. But like I said, I've heard people say that they actually shut off everything on their phone when they don't want to use any of their data plan, which I guess, I don't know if they play games on their phone or what do they do, because you shut everything off. You can't make phone calls. You can't get on the internet. I don't know what, unless
really
maybe they
purpose.
write, maybe they do some other type of work, writing or something on the phone, or who knows.
Does it secure your phone more if you're out?
Yeah, it would secure it. But you can individually shut off things. Like, for instance, when you're just wandering around, Bluetooth doesn't need to be on all the time unless you are using it all the time. Like if you're always using it in the car, listening to music, you come home, you always are attached to a speaker playing music. If you always have Bluetooth on, then you always have Bluetooth on. But if you never use Bluetooth, you probably should have it off if you're not actively using it.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. Any other questions? Let's talk about the next one, Battery Saver.
I'm sorry, this is Marva, and
Hi, Marva.
I did want to share that if you are traveling, when you get to your destination, if you don't have coverage in that area for international coverage or whatever, turning the phone into the airplane mode saves you a lot of money, because then you get additional fees.
Right.
Oh,
Roaming.
okay.
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, you have to at least shut off your mobile data, because that's where you're going to get hit by Verizon and Sprint if you don't have your international plan. But you should be able to still go to like a cafe and get on Wi-Fi if you need to still get on the internet or something like that. Or just turn it on when you need it and leave everything off. That's another thing too. But yes, that's a good point, Marva. And by the way, that picture is gorgeous that you have there,
It is, it's beautiful.
isn't it?
Wish I was there.
I know. Well, I don't know. My allergies probably wouldn't like it, but it's very beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, when you're traveling and that type of thing, you do have to watch that.
Okay, thank you.
Although, I know that they are getting better with the international plans. The last time, like Verizon, I think now I think you can go into Mexico and Canada, no problem. I think it's part of a lot of the plans. And they have a quick, the last time I went international, they just had a quick, I think it was $30. It covered you for like a month. So I was able to just have it for 1 month while I was gone to Europe. And when I came back, they took it off. And I double checked though to make sure, because I was going to cancel it if they didn't. But they have a lot of flexibility now. It's not like the old days. It used to be a pain and very expensive to get these plans, but now they've made them pretty reasonable. And you can get full coverage in the countries that you're going to be in and not have to worry about getting those, a couple $1,000 phone bill or something like some people. You've heard of those, the iPhone people, right? Start roaming in Europe and start racking up thousands of dollars.
That would be what I would do without thinking. I wouldn't even know.
Yeah. But, if you're going to travel, just go take a look, whoever your carrier is. You can even get on the website now. I know Verizon, I can log into the account and I can just add it. You can just click on it and just add it to your next bill. And then when you come back from your trip, just take it out.
Oh, nice.
So you don't even have to call anyone. So, log into your web account for whoever you get your service from and see what they have for that. So a lot of times you don't even need to make a phone call. You can just add it right on and then take it right off.
Oh, to be traveling again.
Oh, I know. We're getting there. It's little by little.
What did you say about Bluetooth? If you don't need it.
If you're never using Bluetooth, just keep it off. That's probably the best bet. But if you're using it, some people have, they use it with their hearing aids and, sometimes people have devices that use Bluetooth and they're using it.
I have a few, but I'm not really using anything. Since I've had this little phone, I had a cell phone for years, but I didn't have a smartphone. And my sister kept saying, you need to get a smartphone. You need to get a smartphone. So I finally got one. So I'm learning to use it by playing with it.
Good. Yeah. You just have to kind of get in there and start looking around.
So if you have unlimited, you don't have to worry about international.
No, you still have to go and have an international plan. You mean if you have an unlimited data plan?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all the data plan means is that have unlimited, like when you're getting on Facebook and you're on the internet, like a lot of plans, they'll have unlimited voice and text is pretty standard now. I think it used to be, remember they would give you 200 minutes or something, but voice and text are pretty much unlimited now. It's the data is the one that's not always unlimited. But even if you have, and that has nothing to do with going international, you still would,
Still rack up those charges.
Yeah. Now, the one thing though, with having an unlimited plan, there still is a limit. A lot of the limits start at about 32 gigs or higher. It depends on your plan that you have. So, I've seen stories on the web of people, they thought they had unlimited plan, then they start binging all these TV shows and everything, and then lo and behold, they got a message saying you are over your limit. And it's large, it's like 32 gigs or 50 gigs. Some of them are 100 gigs, but still, if you are a binge watcher, you could burn through those quick if you're not on Wi-Fi, especially. All right, so let's go to the battery section and take a look at our battery. You might have a graph that talks about your battery. I just have a little percentage that tells me how charged it is. Now, there's two types of settings. If you have a newer phone, you might have a thing called adaptive battery, and it could possibly be already on your phone. And what this does is it adapts to how you use your phone when you're on your battery. What do? You might turn Spotify on in the car. You might open up Google Maps. You might maybe make a lot of phone calls, or you text a lot of people. It'll learn your pattern of what apps are getting opened when you're on your battery. And the apps that you never open, they are going to be restricted. They're going to be restricted from doing updates, from doing any type of notifications, that type of thing. So that over time, as it learns more and more about what you use, it becomes more efficient. So some of your phones may already have this turned on by the manufacturer. Another setting is battery saver. This kind of does the same thing, but it's not adaptive. You're just setting a percentage. Like, for instance, I have mine set for 30%. So what that means is if I am running errands all day long, and then my phone hits 30% on the battery, then it's going to start restricting. It's going to start restricting apps and features to slow down the drainage of the battery until I can get onto a charger.
It's battery saver is what it is.
Yep.
Mine says never turn on automatically.
It says, what does it say?
All right, battery saver. It says all / never turn on automatically.
Oh yeah, turn on automatically means have it turn on.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't. Yeah, I'll say. Okay.
Oh, you can try if you have adaptive battery and your manufacturer has set that. You can probably stay with that.
Yeah.
But if you find that if you are away from your charger a lot during the day, and you start seeing your battery going down a lot, you might want to put on the other one too if it's not doing a good enough job. Because really, for our batteries, the sweet spot is between about 30% and about 90%. You want to kind of stay in that zone. That will extend the life of your battery. You don't want it because if you have a fairly new phone, it's not like the old nickel batteries that we had in our phones before. Remember, they would say, drain it all the way down to 0. Remember, they would always say that. But the newer batteries now, the lithium batteries are different.
You don't need to do that anymore.
Right. You don't do that. In fact, if you keep draining it down to 0, it's gonna fail quicker because they have a charge life, and it's about 500 charges, and that's the end of that battery. So if you keep going down to 20%, 10%, those are all going to be charge lives. So you want to stay above 30. You want to stay in that 30 to 90, 95 or so. Even when you're charging, once it gets to 100, you should unplug it. Because what happens is it's going to charge to 100, and then it's going to drop down to 99, and then charge, and it's going to keep going back and forth. So that's going to kind of stress the battery a little bit.
But it does alert you though when it's full.
Well, the newer batteries are supposed to be smart enough to stop charging, but that's the problem. They stop charging, and then your battery goes down to 99, and then they charge back up immediately. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Unlike the older batteries that just blew up or whatever, the old way.
You started a fire, you know.
The ones that started a fire,
Yeah.
those batteries.
I
But the problem is though, because they stopped charging at 100, they stop charging and then the battery goes down a little bit and then they charge back up. So it's that toggling back and forth that can kind of, so the best bet is just keep it within about 30 and 90 and you should be good. That'll give you a good life. Well, you never know. If you have a lemon, you have a lemon.
I charge to be ready for you, so.
Mhm. Yeah.
Charge to be ready for you, so.
So any questions about your battery options that you have on your phone? I mean, and now like this battery saver is nice if you have an older phone too, because before I had this phone, my other phone, as they get, when the batteries get a little old on your phones, you remember how, they get kind of weird. And I had one that once I hit 20%, it just dropped like a rock. It would be gone in 10 minutes. So that phone, I had to put battery saver on because I just wanted to make it home with the phone working because it would just die at about 3:00 in the afternoon. It's just, ugh. But yeah, you know your phone, you kind of know what's happening with it.
I have noticed with my new device, though, how long the battery lasts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. How old is your phone right now? Is it?
I haven't had it 2 weeks. It's been off the charger all day and it's at 67%.
Yeah. And
I
that's,
haven't been on it a lot, but I am just amazed at how just how long the battery lasts.
yeah, the newer phones. Yeah. These batteries and they charge quicker too.
Yes.
Have you
very much
noticed
so.
that?
Yes.
You put it in and boom, it's, I remember it used to take hours to get these things charged up. Yeah, they're much more efficient, but you don't have to drain them down. Don't do that. That's bad.
Okay.
Just keep them kind of in that zone and you'll be good. They last a long time. All right. Any other questions? Let's talk about backing up Google Photos because I now we have an excellent Google Photos class. If anyone is interested in Google Photos, that you can take. And I've had people come into this class and they took the class, but their photos still don't sync up. So we're going to talk about making sure Google Photos syncs up. Now, some of your Samsung people, you may or may not have Google Photos on your phone, but you could still check your Samsung photos too to see if they are backing up. So Google Photos is the white icon right down here towards the right bottom of my screen. White icon with the Google it's like a pinwheel look. And you open that up and you go to the profile button in the upper right hand corner. If you have uploaded a picture, maybe your picture would be here. You click on that and then you go down towards the bottom almost of the menu and you'll click on Photo Settings. And then you'll see Backup and Sync at the top. Click on that. And then you'll see another Backup and Sync. And then there's a little toggle. If it's on, that means you're going to be syncing to Google Photos. If it's off, you're not syncing. So
we want it on then.
If you want to sync to Google Photos, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they will, if you don't want to risk losing like your photos, it's good to have it syncing to Google Photos. Some people don't like syncing to the cloud. Well, if your phone can take a SIM card, you can always get a SIM card and move your photos over. But, it's pretty easy just to go to the cloud. If you want to find out what you have at the cloud, and I'll give you this link when you get your email at the end, you can go to photos.google.com. You can see the photos that you have up there. You can share them out. You can make albums and you can share out your albums to your family and friends. If you have trip photos you want to show people. There's a print store where you can get prints of your photos. You can do photo books. You can do canvas prints, all that type of stuff you can do online here. We have a class on how to do photo books too. I think they talk about this. So any of that type of stuff you can do, just so you can see what's actually on the cloud. And then Samsung, you have your own photo app, which you can check. I know people in this class have discovered it just by looking at my my Google Photos instructions. They were able to figure out their Samsung one to see how if they're syncing. But you can check that also. And at the end of this class, you're going to get a copy of these slides in the email, so you will see all the steps. So you can double check things if you want.
May I ask something?
Uh-huh.
Here, it says important update about your high quality storage, and it's the cloud.
No, yeah.
What's on my computer? Will that will it sync? Will my phone sync with my computer? Is what well, these I haven't even checked to look at the pictures that I have on there.
Well, yeah, when you get on the computer, you'll be able to see. You can go to the website. You can see what you have.
The cloud.
What's been copied from your phone will be on the cloud, and then you get on your computer and you can go to the cloud and see it there.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll still have access to it by going through the cloud.
Well, I'm going to take just a sec. Oh, okay.
But it's nice to have a backup somewhere
It is.
because you never know. My last phone just died. It just went, and that was, usually you can turn it on and off and jiggle it and try to get it back for one more shot, but no, it was gone. It's just gone.
Oh, that's
But
terrible.
luckily I had everything synced. So it worked out.
If you lose your phone, you still have access to your pictures. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so you can go to the website. It's still going to be up there because you've synced everything.
I'm sure I've seen all that and just didn't think a thing about
And
it.
there is a Google Photos class you may want to take. Maybe Lester can put the link in the chat for us, and so people can
I
see.
would like that. Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
If your photos are in the Google Photos, which mine are,
Mhm.
is that taking space up on my phone? Or is that the cloud?
They're being saved to the cloud. Now there is a setting you could do. I think there's a setting if you want to remove the photos when they sync them. I think you can set that up.
What does this, okay, I guess, what am I doing when I'm syncing? Am I,
Think of it as you're making a copy.
and putting it in the cloud?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's still on, it's still taking up space.
Yeah. There's still going to be. There is a setting.
That's what I wondered. Okay, yep, yeah, I got that, yeah.
You see it? There is a setting where you can say when you sync, remove from device. So that would mean it will all get saved up there.
Where's
Ah.
that?
Let's see if I can find it.
Free up space, maybe?
I'm
You
I
can
didn't
use-
realize I could remove them from the device if it
Yeah.
was,
Well, you can install an SD card and
That's true. Yep.
switch it from.
yes, I have an SD card on my phone.
Yeah. You can move them to the SD card. You can plug your phone into your laptop. You can just copy the folder over that has that's what I do. That has the photos.
Oh,
And
can
then,
do it.
this way I always have a backup on my laptop, and then I have it in the cloud. So this way I'm covered.
well, I know it's very nice to have those backed up because when you are getting a new device, it's like, oh God, I'm gonna lose all my pictures. No, I didn't. They're
Yeah.
in,
Yeah. And the way I do it on my phone, for instance, I just go, I plug in my phone into my laptop, and I just swipe down where my notifications are. And I go all the way to the very end because I'm plugged in. It's going to say charging this device via USB. And I click on that. And I tap for more options because I'm on USB right
okay.
now. And then at this point, I can click on file transfer. And if I click on file transfer, it's going to, my mirroring disconnects. But what's going to happen is I think my file manager should open up. Maybe.
Is it going
Let's
to
see.
ask you which file you want to transfer, right?
Here it is. Yeah. So here's my file man. It's really tiny file manager. But I can open this up. Let me just make it a little bigger here. And there's my phone. It acts as a drive. And I just go in here, and really your photos are all in a directory called DCIM, Digital Content Image
Okay,
Manager.
I always wondered what that meant.
Yeah, you'll have your camera and any photos you downloaded from Facebook. They're going to be in there.
And do you just drop and drag?
I don't like cut. I don't remove it. Well, I do remove things after I've made a copy. I just copy that over to another folder.
Okay.
And you can, I have gone in here and I don't delete the camera directory. I leave that directory. Don't delete any directories. I just go inside and then I'll get rid of the files there if I want to.
Okay, thank you.
Or sometimes if I'm just sitting watching TV, I'll just sit there and delete them from my phone
I've
at
done
that point, you know.
Yeah.
And the download directory too. Sometimes you have downloads that you want, you know, to copy. So that's it. And the rest of them all the other photos have to do with the apps that are on the phone.
Okay.
You know, they have their own, but that's all you have to do.
Great.
And of course, if you have an SD card, you can move them over there.
Okay.
All right. So any other questions about the photos?
Probably a million, but I'll work.
Well, you know, you got to take it in steps, Judy. Don't worry. I mean, yeah, it takes a while. If you've never had a smartphone before, there's a lot going on the smartphone.
But I pick it a lot.
It's a lot different than just having a regular phone. So
Yes.
yeah, and you know that, and you're doing the right thing. You just take, you know, in a little bit at a time, and I think a lot of people will probably agree with me. The more you actually look at what's on your phone, the more you'll learn about what it does. Like even in this class, you know, your phone doesn't match my phone, but it really doesn't matter because really it's about what your phone is, what it has for its settings. That's the important part.
It's easy to figure out though, whatever you're saying. You know, it's easy to figure.
Yeah, sometimes between the manufacturers, they'll say things differently. They'll use different terminology. And sometimes you just have to take a second to just read what your phone is saying and you'll figure it out. All right. Okay, we're going to do a little exercise just so you can get some more, get familiar a little bit more with your phone. We're going to create 2 PDFs. We're going to do one in Photos, Google Photos. And then the other one we're going to do from a web page. Okay. And you'll look at these instructions. So, you know, you can always try it again if you want later on or something to test it out. So the first one, I'm going to do this one in Google Photos. And I'm just going to I'm going to pretend maybe I was, you know, at the doctor's office and I took a picture of an article or something and I wanted to turn it into a PDF, or maybe you're getting your taxes done and all of a sudden some mystery document shows up. You take a quick picture of it and then later on you just want to save it as a document. So I'm going to just come in. I'm going to open up Photos. I'm just going to open up a picture. I'm just going to grab one of these pictures. But again, it could be anything that you took a picture of that you want to just save to a document. You most likely wouldn't make a picture into a document, but it'll work either way.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I opened an image. And in the upper right-hand corner, I have a 3-dot menu. Upper right-hand corner. So I'm going to click on the 3 dots. And then right below the picture, there's a menu that shows up. It's one of those menus that you slide to the left. So I'm just going to take my finger and slide to the left, and what will show up is print at the end. I'm going to click on print. So it brings me to the print manager on the phone. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a little white down arrow. I'm going to click on this. And I'm going to save it as PDF. If you might have a printer or something, you know, you might have printers listed here. I have an Epson, which I'm surprised it's there, but it's half the time my printer never shows up. So you can click on Save as PDF. So I'm going to click on Save as PDF. So it's going to make this is only going to be a 1-page document.
Uh-huh.
And then there's going to be a little circle towards the upper right. Mine's blue. Yours might be a gold color. It depends on the phone. They all, for some reason, have different colors. It'll say PDF, and it's got a little circle here. I'm just going to click on it. And what this does now is your screen's going to change. I'm in my downloads folder right now. I can change. I'm look for my save button. Mine's in the lower right-hand corner. Some people's save button might be towards the top. Right next to the save button, I can give this a name. Yeah, I could call this Pink Flowers. I can give it a name, and then I'm going to hit save. And when it saves, you're going to see it save for a second, and then it's going to go away. At least not. Yeah, now it's gone. It's on your phone though, and I'm going to show you how to get it, how to find it. All right. How did people do on that one?
All those in a series of pictures I took saved, they're all here.
Good.
Just, you can't see. Oh, well, anyway, I think it's beautiful.
All right. The next part of the exercise, we're going to just open up any article on the browser you can pull up. I've got one here. How to fix Windows 7 sharing in VirtualBox. It's riveting. It's just an article. See if I scroll down here, just a regular web article with some pictures. Sometimes, yeah, I worked for so many years in the IT industry, and sometimes there's an article you really want to save it, and bookmarks are fine until the day you go to the bookmark and the web page is gone, right? That happens. So if you want to save an article, yeah, Judy.
I was just saying you're right about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bookmarks are fine, but if you really, really want to save that, you better do something with it. Because that's happened to me too many times. You go back to the bookmark and it's like, oh darn, it's gone.
Videos are the same way.
Yeah, videos too. Yeah, download them.
I've lost a lot of it. All right, where did you get this? This is an article here. Okay, so now we're gonna make this article into a PDF. So I'm gonna go to the upper right-hand corner, 3-dot menu again. Go to my 3-dot menu, but this is a browser. So I don't have the same type of look that Google Photos had. So at this point, I have to go down to the middle of the screen where it says share. Look for your share section.
Oh, okay, that's why I couldn't find it. Okay.
Yeah, click on share. And now you're going to see your options. You might have to scroll a little up or down or left or right and look for print. Because this is where, I could text this to someone, I could email it, email the link, that type of thing. But I want to go to my print. So I'm going to click on print.
I didn't have that option.
Some of the phones, it's in another area because we ran into this last week with someone. You might have to look around to see where print is.
Oops. Get back here.
So once I'm in my print section, it's the same thing. I'm going to go to the upper right-hand corner, click on that little white down arrow, look for Save as PDF. And now this is a 7-page document that got created here. It's nice, no ads, it's just a regular document. And then the next part is going to be saving it. So I'm going to click on that blue or gold PDF button that's on the upper right side. I'm going to click on that. It's going to prepare it. And now the save button is going to show up either in the lower right-hand corner or maybe upper corner if you're on a different phone. And it has a title. It has the title that is the article's title. So I'm not going to mess with that. I'm going to keep that one. And then I'm going to hit save. Christine, did you find that?
Yes. Yeah, I'm all set.
You did find.
I
Okay.
had to get to a different article because it was a news article on like
Oh.
Channel 5 and our channel, local channel, and I needed to go to like a newspaper article.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was wondering if possibly the browser you were in could be a little different too.
I think that's what it was. But yeah, the photo works great.
All right, so we created these documents now, and now of course the question that comes to mind is where are they? Right? Where? Because I'm sure some of you have downloaded stuff, and you're like, well, where does it go?
All
Right.
gone.
It's gone, just somewhere in the vaporware. All right, so that's what we're going to do next.
My computer, I've never used my phone to download, not yet anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they are little computers. So they have a file manager, just like you have on a Windows computer, on a Mac. We have file managers. So we have different phones, of course. So go to your app folder and look for My Files, Files, or File Manager. Those are the three styles so far. We haven't found a fourth one yet for the Androids. So I'm going to bring my phone up. To get to my app folder, I swipe up from the bottom with my finger. I'm going to swipe up, and now I'm going to go search. My phone is a files one. So right here, I've got files. It looks like one of those little folders you'd put in a file cabinet, old school. So go through and most of your app folders should be in alphabetical order. So you're going to look for files or file manager will show up first. If you don't see that, scroll down to M for My Files. And hopefully that covers everyone. If you have File Manager, when you open it, you're going to see the different files. You're going to see audio, video, that type of thing. My phone uses Files. So Files opens up to my download directory, and I can right away see what I just downloaded. My pink files and my How to Fix Windows 7 sharing, those two documents I just created are sitting there in my download directory. So if you're in a different file manager, look for your download directory. You probably will see them there possibly. Take a look at the file manager you have. On mine, I have to go to a little menu on the upper left side. If I click on that, now I can see my images, videos, audio. I can see I have 2 Google Drives. If you have any Google Drives attached, if you're attached to any of the Google Clouds like that, you'll be able to access them from here and see what files you have on your Google Drive. Again, the downloads directory is probably where your files just got saved. You may see a folder that has the name of your phone. Like mine, I've got a folder, Moto G6. You might have a Samsung, whatever. If you open that up, you're going to see, and this should look familiar, it's the folders that are on your phone. So you can see them here also.
Okay.
Does everybody find something that has to do with their files?
Yep.
Okay.
This wants me to download one of the file systems. Some kind of file.
Oh, because you've never gone to it. Yeah. What choice does it give you?
A lot.
A lot?
Mhm.
What was you have a Samsung? Is that what you have, Judy?
Well, I thought I
Oh, you don't know.
I thought that's what I had. Let's see. Okay, files by Google, clean up space on your phone, files by Google. Files. Where do I find my files?
So what did you click on to get that? Did you just click on files? Was it files? Okay, so that would
Google files, and it says you can usually find your files in the Files app.
Mm-hmm.
You can't find the Files app. Your device manufacturer might have a different app.
Yeah. So you went into your app folder, right? Where all your apps are?
I did.
And that's where you found Files, or yeah, what was it? Files?
To Google and searched Files. Everything Files it wants me to download.
Oh, it sounds like you're in Google Play.
But I'm
Go-
not. I was on Google now. I might be in Google.
Yeah, go just swipe up from the go click on your home button, the circle. Click on your home button. The circle on the bottom. And then swipe up from the bottom of your screen with your finger.
Right.
Swipe up from the bottom. And then look for, is that where you were before, or?
Well, I'm on my, let's see. All right, search apps, it says.
Okay, so you're in search apps, okay.
And
Let's see.
Files.
Yeah,
So I went to Google from here and then put in Files.
well, so like, you see, I just typed in Files on mine. Do you see on my screen what I just did? So yours goes to Google. I just typed in Files and it just shows the one app. So yours shows many of them, or?
Well, it did under just Google when I put in Files. It went, now this says no apps found matching Files. Search for more apps. So that's what I did.
Okay. I mean, you can, if you want, like for anyone who, if you don't like the file manager, you think it's awkward on your phone, any of us can just go to the Play Store and just type in file managers. Let's see.
I did see some. I did see a lot. That's where I was when I saw a lot of different.
Yeah, file managers for Android. I just put that in. And there was someone in the class, they like this Astro. They really said they liked it a lot. They were using that. That's the only one I'm using my original files that's on my phone, but you can always take a look at these and try them out. If you don't like them, you can uninstall them and try another. If you find that you want to have more functionality and you're going to be using your file manager more often on your phone, if you save a lot of files, you're doing a lot of file management, you might want to look at getting a more functional one, because I think the basic one that's on most of our phones is just very basic. So that's just to know. That's the nice thing about being Android people, is we can make changes on our phones. We have a lot of options that come up for that type of stuff.
My sister-in-law had an Android and her son kept telling her to get an iPhone. So she bought an iPhone and then sent it back. She said that of course she had her Android for years. So
it's hard to make that switch.
It was just easier for her to use.
Yeah, you get used to one certain one. That's how it is. All right. Well, we are at the end of our class here.
We just got started.
Just got started, and here we are. We do have a beginner's class for Android. It's called Using Your Android Phone. We have a new class that started this I think last Tuesday, about safety and security on your phone. We talk about setting up like medical ID type things on your phone and stuff. So that class is wandering around. We have this class, and then we're going to have a new tips and tricks number 2. It's going to be coming up next week. So you can look for that on the calendar if you want to get involved more into your phone. I have another class called Fun Things to Do on Your Smartphone, where we talk about different apps that might be a fun thing that you might want to look at. So we talk about various apps that you can use on your phone. You'll be getting a feedback form in an email after this class. Go ahead and fill out your feedback about the class. If you have any class ideas you'd like to throw in, go ahead and add that to the feedback. And I'm looking for people interested in art and music. If you're interested in art and music and would like to get involved in some programming here at Get Set Up, put in a note that you would like to talk to Donna about art and music, and they will get that note to me.
I'm taking a class on doodling next week.
Oh, good for you. All right. I'll have you teaching it.
Oh, cool. Oh, very good.
So, yeah, if you're interested, Christine, go ahead and mark it in the feedback. Okay.
Yes, I sure will. Yes, I've already signed up for it. I'm all I'm
All
all
right.
signed up.
If we could review this again.
Yeah, you're gonna get you can request the recording by emailing help@getsetup.io, and they'll send you a recording link. And Marv has a class on tips and tricks to navigating Get Setup's new look. If you're interested in learning more about the website, how to use the website and register and that type of stuff, you can go ahead and check that class out. All right.
Thank you.
Any other questions anyone has? Oh, good. And Lester put the links in the chat if you want to grab those links.
All right, okay.
You can go ahead and get those.
This is Marv. I had a question about the settings and notifications. I had set mine up. Would it be better to email you? Can I email you directly with my question? Or
What's the question you have?
I set up my own. I uploaded my own music to be my ringtones and my notification, and I had it set just for text and just for my phone. And then I updated some stuff on Google's, and suddenly every notification is my ring is the music and the stuff instead of just the text. And I'm looking at the settings and I can't see exactly how to isolate it so that only my ringtone that I choose is telling me there's a text message. I don't want
So
to
you had the music for the text, and then you had another ringtone for the phone.
Right. And that was it, just those two things. And then I did an update and suddenly, a news alert, anything that was a notification was coming in with the text ring notification sound.
What kind of phone do you have?
I have the Moto 5G Plus.
I'll do a quick search after this class. If I find anything, I'll put it in the email.
Okay.
And see if I can find anything, because maybe it is a recent update. Something went kaplooey. Sometimes that happens.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And everybody get there.
On my folder, it says unnamed folder. That's what it says.
What was the problem?
It says unnamed folder. I lost my file. That's my fault.
Oh, okay. I'll put these links in the email so you can have them.
Great.
All right then, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So much. Bye-bye.